Yeah, and one last question I wanted to ask. I saw you recently in an interview come out and defend Conor McGregor for him pulling out with his toe injury. Why do you kind of relate to him and understand why Conor had to pull out with that injury?
That's why I was going to get into. We're talking about the injury that's experience. You know, he was fucked up when he fought his last fight. You know, and I've been fucked up in hell fights. And I don't want to like to cry about it afterwards because yo ass shouldn't have came to the fight if you were fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think about it. So I'm like, well, I was. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have fucking showed up then. Should have showed up and got your ass. You still got your ass whipped. No, I'm like, from the inexperience angle, all the people are fucking like talking shit, but the experience, you don't give a fuck. And like, I feel the same way. Like, the show got pushed back. It didn't get canceled. He's like, he bossed up on that shit. They shut up. We'll fight in a few months, and they were going to criticize for pulling out. I mean, he didn't pull out. He pushed back. He pushed it back, right?
Yeah, they pushed it back. They just basically rescheduled it. There hasn't been a date that's been rescheduled for it yet, but they're saying it's going to happen if Chandler wants to wait.
See? It's like, yeah, now ball's in his court, but Conor's fucking like the show. So he's like, and that's how I feel like when I fought Leon Edwards. 2 weeks, I was training so good for that fight, and 2 weeks before it, I got cut. I got cut on my chin, and I fucking had to, or I had to cancel my fucking I had to cancel. I was stressed out. I'm like, fuck, I ain't trying to cancel this fight. It's in 2 weeks though, and I'm fucking split. I like that fucking sucks, and I stressed out for about 10, 20 minutes. Like, I like, bro, I ain't pulling out of the fight. When I like, I'll just get stitched up. I'll go fight this motherfucker, right, or whatever. And it was kind of fucking hectic for a minute. And I was like, fuck that. Call the UFC and tell them to push it to. I would looked at the card right there. I was like, tell them to push it to Arizona a month later. I tell them to push it to that. I like, I can't go like this. I'm gonna lose and fucking right off the bat. This shit will split open, right? So they call these motherfuckers, and they're like. They hit my guy's back and were like, so what's up? Does he just doesn't want to fight or what? And they're like, nah, he just got cut. He just got cut. He wants to push it to the next show. And they push it to the next show. I was like, thank God. Because I didn't want to be pulling out of no fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole shit, though, was like all good. Like, they were not tripping because they wanted the fucking boss to fight. You know what I'm saying? They're like, we'll just push it here or he ain't going to cancel. It was just a little pushback. Wasn't it like I was pulling out at fucking like, that experience was like, damn, I could have pushed a bunch of fights back. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, oh man, my ribs are pushing back over 6 weeks.
So now before you just jump to conclusions and start being like, he's hurt, fucking pussy. It's like, bro, he lost his last fight because he went in there like a G and he was hurt. And he fucked himself up. You know what I'm saying? That being a part of it, he shouldn't have showed up though. He showed up though. but now he knows. And now I know.
That's
you know
what I'm saying.
So it's like when people are like, well, I'm like, oh, you shut up and sit down. Like, got a real injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's the hardest thing because obviously, you know, I remember I watched somebody said like old Conor would beat new Conor. And it's like, well, when you've had the experience, like you just said, he's won in a fight. You've gone into a fight injured before, and you're just fighting. You're fighting injured, right? You can't perform to your best ability. And so when Conor fought Destin last time and he had that injury and he stepped back and broke his leg, he has PTSD from that. So he has a broken toe where he's like, I've already been through this before. Why would I? He is in a position where he doesn't have to go through that, right? Like if it was probably broke Conor's like, I'm not going back to fucking, you know, food stamps and I'm not going back to, you know, the unemployment line. I'm going to go out there and fight. But now that he doesn't do that, he gets to pick on his term just like you do. You get to pick on your term when you want to fight. If you're going to go into a fight injured, you're like, I'm not fighting injured. I've worked way too hard to build my brand to work my ass off. Why would I go in there and fight injured?
For sure.